Maybe if I go here.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh no! Oh no! No! Not like this.
Bro.
Ruby, what have you done? What is up, everybody? I'm Get Flanked, and what you just saw there was me and Coconut Brawl messing around with Azami, the new operator coming to Rainbow Six Siege and Demon Vale, and seeing what her gadget is capable of. And you're going to see a lot more of that footage of us messing around in custom games here in just a second. On the screen right now, you're seeing some gameplay with Azami. This came from my capture session that I did with IGN, and I'm actually going to link their video down in the description. As soon as it's live, it'll be linked down there. If you want to see more actual gameplay of me using Azami, that's where you're going to find a lot of it. For the most part, this video is going to be me and Coconut Brawl messing around in custom games and just trying some stuff out with the gadget. Now, real quick, while this clip is playing out in the background and before we get into the custom game stuff, I want to give you just some basics as far as Azami and her gadget. I think in this clip, you're seeing me use it in the way that is probably going to come to mind for most people initially. So whenever the opponents open a hole in a reinforced wall or a hatch, you can take her barrier, her primary gadget, throw it at that hole, the foam kind of comes out, and it will block it, at least partially. If you want to use more than one, you can block bigger areas. You can, kind of stack them on top of each other or combine them. So you just saw that Habana opened that hole in the wall, and I used it to partially block that. So that barrier is bulletproof. Now, any of the attackers can clear that barrier by meleeing it 3 times, or by using explosives. So grenades, Gon 6, stuff like that. Sledge's hammer will get rid of it instantly. So it's not like it's, I plugged the hole and there's nothing the attackers can do with it, but it's bulletproof, and you can use it to create some really weird lines of sight whenever the attackers open holes in reinforced walls. Here you're seeing me put it on the yellow stairs, and this is where you're going to see, I think, me mess around in the custom games a little bit more to create weird lines of sight like this. I think it's going to be good to plug hatches to, slow down attackers when they open a reinforcement. But in my opinion, the way that I think it's really going to be strong is to use it just to create some really weird lines of sight. In the clip right now, you're seeing it being used to kind of counter like vertical play. So if you have a buck below you or a sledge above you, you can use it like what you're seeing here to throw it down on the holes that are being created, and it'll block those lines of sight, and it'll block bullets as well. You're still safe to play on top of those spots, but you're not safe from grenades. It does not block explosive damage. So even if you have one of these under your feet, you can still be killed with a vertical grenade. As far as how many of these barriers she has, they accrue over time, but she can basically get 2 of them before the end of the prep phase and then earn 3 more, I believe, after that throughout the course of a round. So I think the total available to her in the course of a round would be 5, if I'm remembering that correctly, but keep in mind that they come over time. Okay, so that is the absolute basics as far as the gadget goes. I want to start getting into some of this custom game stuff now, because I want to get your mind thinking about how this gadget can be used other than just plugging reinforcements, okay? Take a look on the screen right now. You're seeing me use this on vases on coastline to create a one-way line of sight. And I think the possibilities for stuff like this and using her gadget are endless, and it's really strong. So I'm able to put it high enough on this vase kind of barrier here to where when somebody would come and clear this corner to try to, clear me on these stairs, I'm going to see their feet long before they see me. And that is really strong. And when you start thinking about all the different places that you could do something like this with her gadget, it really is, it's going to change everything. It's going to change the way you can play certain positions. It's going to play, differently on different objectives. Like, there are a lot of possibilities here. Here's another example on the basement of Clubhouse, just setting up 2 of them in this kind of main hall here. And it just gets kind of weird. Like, this is stuff that, you've never seen before. You've never had to prepare for somebody who can kind of block these lines of sight and then put themselves in a position where normally you wouldn't have to worry about. So hopefully you're starting to see the potential here. And you don't have to go super crazy with it either. In this clip, you're just going to see me put one on this ledge that drops below kitchen hatch here, and look at how much of this line of sight it blocks, and it really changes the way that a defender could play back here, even with that hatch open. In a second, you're going to see me run up to kitchen and see what it looks like. Now, granted, anybody who has a Gone 6 can get rid of that really quick. Anybody who has a grenade can get rid of that really quick. But this is in a situation where they could melee it, and clear it. So you're going to eat up more utility from the attackers, and maybe give yourself a little bit more time to play a strong part of an objective because it's there. Another situation where I think the Gadget can be really useful is in a post-plant situation. As a defender, if the attackers are trying to watch the diffuser from a long ways away, she can use it to protect herself. Check this out on coastline, this default plant here. Maybe the attackers are down below trying to watch for this hole. I can plug it with her Gadget. Maybe they're outside on rappel trying to watch from the window or even back from ruins. I can use the Gadget to block that line of sight and give me protection while I diffuse it. And again, that's just something as an attacker that you've never had to deal with before that you're going to have to be aware of. All right, so hopefully I've got your mind thinking about how you can use your Gadget to create weird lines of sights and one-ways and stuff like that. Again, the possibilities there are endless. Now let's get into the really wild stuff. And this is actually pretty nuts. You saw it in the opening clip there. Her Gadget has collision, meaning that you can mantle up on top of them and use them to get in places that you've never been able to get to before. Right now on the screen, you're seeing Coconut Bra up in a really weird place in Courtyard of Coastline. And this is just us messing around. I mean, we spent maybe an hour in custom games, and this is the type of stuff that we were able to come up with. So that giving this tool to the community and letting them go crazy, you're going to see some really weird stuff. So be prepared for it. I don't know how realistic this is. Keep in mind that by the end of the prep phase, she only has 2. So, how realistic is it for you to build a skyscraper in the middle of Courtyard without attackers doing anything about it? Probably not very. But that doesn't mean there couldn't be some other stuff that comes from this. So yeah, there you go. Azami is pretty wild. We've heard the devs say that the new operator is going to be a game changer, and I have to agree. This is a brand new mechanic that we've never seen in the game. This is something that the community has theory crafted about for a long time, and it's really cool to see it enter the game. I think that as an attacker, when you have an Azami on the other side, there's going to be things that you have to worry about that you've never had to think about before. There's going to be places that defenders can be that you've never had to worry about before, lines of sight and stuff like that. And that is something that really changes the game. It reminds me a lot of like when Mirror was introduced. It really changed the way that maps and objectives were played. And I think Azami has that same potential. What do you guys think? Is this somebody you're excited to get your hands on? Let me know that stuff down in the comments. Make sure you go check out Coconut Bra's channel. I'm sure that he's got a video up right now of him doing all types of crazy stuff like this. He is going to have a field day with this operator. It's literally built for him, I feel like. So make sure you check that out. Also, again, make sure you check out that IGN video that I took part in for more actual gameplay with Azami. And yeah, make sure you're subscribed, notifications on. I'm going to be covering the year 7 reveal as well. The roadmap, all that stuff is coming. And I can't wait to do it. So I will see you guys on the next one.